I am 99 years old. I have lived long enough to bury my wife. Long enough to say goodbye to friends who once filled my living room with noise and laughter. Long enough to outlast people who wished me harm and, maybe most importantly, long enough to outgrow the version of myself who cared too much about approval. That man is gone. He didn't survive this long. I'm standing at the far edge now, not metaphorically. When you reach my age, the distance between today and the end becomes very short. You can almost see it clearly, and before I step off, I need to turn around and speak to the people still dancing, still laughing, still convinced the music will never stop, because from where I'm standing, I can tell you this plainly, most of you are living under a dangerous illusion. You believe you have time. You walk through your days as if they're cheap, replaceable, endlessly renewable. You spend hours like loose change, assuming there's an unlimited balance waiting somewhere in the future. You talk about your life as if it hasn't started yet, if the real part begins later, when conditions are perfect. I'm here to tell you the truth you avoid looking at directly. You are not rich in time. You are already spending your last currency. Yes, you know intellectually that everyone dies. You've heard it, you've said it, but you don't feel it. You haven't felt the cold certainty of it settle into your bones. If you had, you wouldn't live the way you do. My name is Walter Hughes, and I live in Portland, Oregon. Let me tell you a story. It was 1968, and my closest friend was a man named Daniel. Daniel was sharper than me, more charming than me, and far more successful than me. He was relentless, the kind of man who could close deals while everyone else was still talking. He thrived on pressure. One night we were sitting in his office after he had just wrapped up a massive deal. He poured himself a drink, leaned back in his chair, and smiled like a man who thought he had cracked the code. 5 more years, he said. That's it. I push hard for 5 more years. I hit my number, then I stop. Then I take my wife to Europe. Then I learn how to paint. Then I finally live. Daniel had a plan, a beautiful, logical plan. 3 days later, he walked out of his office building, clutched his chest, and collapsed on the sidewalk. Massive heart attack. He was 42 years old. He never went to Europe. He never painted a single canvas. He never reached the life he kept postponing. I stood at his funeral and realized something painful. The tragedy wasn't that Daniel died. We all die. The tragedy was that he spent his entire life preparing to live instead of actually living. He treated his existence like a waiting room, convinced the real experience would begin after one more milestone. A week later, I went to clear out his office. His calendar was packed for months. His inbox was full of urgent messages. And the world didn't pause. His company replaced him within weeks. His clients moved on quickly. Within a year, most people had forgotten his name. And when I look at many of you, I see Daniel. You tell yourselves the same lies, just dressed differently. I'll relax once I get the promotion. I'll travel when the kids are older. I'll fix that relationship later. I'll take care of myself when things slow down. Let me say this clearly. From a 99-year-old man, there is no later. There is only now, if you keep trading your present for a future that isn't guaranteed. You are making the worst gamble possible. Let's talk about your obsession with things. I watch your generation drown in accumulation. You buy what you don't need, using money you haven't earned yet to impress people whose opinions don't matter. You call it success. I call it exhaustion with better branding. I live in a small room now. I have a bed, a chair, and one photograph of my wife. That's it. I once had a big house, expensive cars, closets full of things I thought meant something. And I'm telling you this with complete clarity from the end of the road. None of it mattered. I've attended many funerals. Never once, not a single time, have I seen a moving truck following a hearse. When you die, Your family will hire strangers to sort through your belongings. Most of what you cherished will end up in a dumpster. The rest will be sold for pocket change. That is the final destination of your materialism, so why are you destroying yourselves to acquire it? Why are you working endless hours, missing your child's life, sacrificing your health just to pay for objects that sit unused? You won't recognize how absurd it is until you're sitting where I am, and by then refunds are no longer available. Let me tell you about one of my so-called victories. In 1979, I was named Businessman of the Year in my city. Big event, formal wear, applause. I walked onto the stage feeling invincible. I thought I had won the game. That night, I came home holding the trophy. The house was dark, my wife was asleep, my children were asleep. I sat alone at the kitchen table with a drink, staring at that piece of glass, and it hit me. The applause had stopped, and it meant nothing. The people who cheered didn't love me. They valued my usefulness, and the people who did love me, I had neglected them for months to earn that moment. I missed my son's games to stay late at work. I missed anniversaries to close deals. And for what? That trophy is somewhere in a box now. I don't even know where. But the memory of my wife's disappointment that stayed, that lodged itself permanently. Your career is not your legacy. It's a transaction. You are exchanging the irreplaceable hours of your life to build something that doesn't belong to you. And if you died today, your job posting would go live before your obituary. Do not worship your career. It will not love you back. It will not sit beside you when everything goes quiet, so what actually matters? Here's the truth. The only things you keep are the things you give away. The time you gave, the love you offered, the moments of real connection. I don't replay my professional achievements. I replay quiet mornings with my wife. I replay my daughter's laughter as a child. I replay small moments of kindness that didn't benefit me at all. That is real wealth. Before I go, let me leave you with this: no slogans, no nonsense. First, kill your ego. You're terrified of looking foolish, so you never take the risk. You never start. You never ask. You never try. Let me free you from this burden. Nobody is watching you. Everyone is too busy worrying about themselves. Their opinions will die with them. Second, practice the last time. One day you will do everything for the final time. One last hug. One last conversation. One last ordinary morning. You don't know when. If you remember that, you'll stop rushing through life. You'll taste the coffee. You'll stay in the moment. Third, wake up. You have health. You have strength, and you're anesthetizing yourselves with distractions. Put the phone down, step outside, feel the air, call someone you love. Forgive not because they deserve it, but because you don't have time to carry resentment anymore. We are all going to die, that is guaranteed, but most people never truly live. They stay safe, they stay comfortable, and then they disappear. Don't wait for the perfect plan. Don't delay joy. Don't save love for later. The clock is ticking. You can hear it if you listen closely. I'm tired now. Go live.